What's good, people? It's Beat Butcha, and you're tuned into the All Elements Mix Show with DJ J-Ronin, and also his podcast.
We're back, y'all, with the J-Ronin podcast and the All Elements Mix Show on Delicious Vinyl Radio on the Dash Radio app, powered by Black League Entertainment. Shout out to the whole Black League team, the whole Dash Radio, Delicious Vinyl Radio team. Salute. We have the best producer in the motherfucking game here on the show. The best.
I don't know about best.
Listen,
I don't know about best. Yeah.
I don't care. I've been saying it for 10 years, and I'm going to keep saying it. You are my favorite producer in hip hop, and not just hip hop. You know, you're doing
Polka music,
great records that are, people have sang on, not just rapped on.
Yeah.
Kind of cutting and scratching and breakdancing on it from, for the 50-year-olds, but it's okay.
Of course, yeah. Contemporary polka music with cutting and scratching over the top of it.
But it's just an honor to have you. I'm happy that you're my real friend. You were at my wedding. You my bro for life.
Absolutely. Likewise, you're my bro for life, dog.
And I'm very happy to see your progression over the years.
Appreciate it, man.
From working with all the dickhead underground rappers that I'm friends with, to getting Grammys, bro. Working with Jay-Z and Beyonce, and from the bottom of the backpackers to the top of the game, and everything in between. Pretty much, your career has spanned it all.
Not everything, yeah.
Not everything. No, you're a connoisseur. You have a particular taste. You got to a point in your career when I don't think you cared so much about the money. You cared more about the art, and you were turning down people that had thousands of dollars, and you're like, I don't like their music. I don't want to work with them.
Yeah,
and I respect it.
Yeah, I mean, I think especially like if you're trying to make a name for yourself, it's important. There's only so much music you make, so I mean,
right.
focusing on things that you want to be a part of is the most important thing, really. I think personally.
Yeah, and you play instruments. You do what they call sound design now. You doing that, but
it's called sound design when you're not that great a musician, but you can make yourself sound like a good one. as opposed to a recording musician. Yeah, no, I don't know. Yeah, that's an element of it for sure.
Oh man, you just threw me off totally. It's okay. Oh man.
Word.
It's beautiful, like I said, to see the progression. I remember the early days, man. Coming to.
Yeah, man. Sleeping on your couch.
Yeah.
Sleeping on your couch. The broke days too. Even the time where I lost my passport that time. Remember that? 2011.
Oh man, I do remember you had to get to a important meeting, and you're like, I need the Uber money. Help me, bro. I'm like, all right.
Yeah. Yeah, because I lost my passport and my wallet in a cab. I left it in a cab, helping a homie back to the because we were drunk, helping him get back to his crib, and I left it in a cab. And then the following day,
that's what happened.
That's what happened, and I didn't. Yeah, so then I had to do some sort of crazy I remember I had to do some sort of like crazy beat sale. And I used your PayPal and then got you to get the money out.
Something like that. Yeah.
Remember that?
I think you had to meet Exhibit or something. Same time.
Or
something.
No, what, in New York?
No, you were in LA already.
Oh, okay.
Something happened.
Yeah. Maybe.
We had a lot of adventures together, getting drunk and.
Yeah, man. It's definitely. We had lots of fun, bro, for sure. That was your old crib.
Met some strange creatures in the New York City nightlife.
That's for sure.
And you know, it always seemed like the weirdest ladies had crushes on you, and we just had to like, no.
Yeah. I mean, that's the story of my life, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna get any of that. I'll leave that one alone.
Any of that, yeah.
Oh boy. But yeah, man. You know, congrats. You know, you're working so hard with the Griselda. You know, I know you worked on the Griselda album where you co-produced the whole thing with Derringer.
Yeah,
And
sir.
so much more though for them besides that. You know, West Side Gun projects, Conway projects, Betty the Butcher. You've really become a staple, like a producer in their camp, kind of.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Well, one of their go-to guys, anyway.
Yeah, man. I mean, thanks to Derringer for pulling me in on all that stuff. You know, it's definitely a pleasure working with them guys. I was kind of moving away from that style of music when we did the what was She Gonna Do album, but you know, it's a blessing to be having kind of like, you know, just be kind of pulled back in and because at the end of the day, that's where my roots are. I'm a hip hop guy through and through.
Right.
You know, my taste has kind of like evolved over but like essentially at heart, I'm a hip hop dude.
Right,
so
right.
So it's been nice to be able to kind of like have an outlet for that part of my personality, which maybe wasn't getting you know, especially the kind of grimy stuff. I wasn't really doing any grimy stuff, any grimy beats for a long time.
That's
I want to say at
for.
least 5 years at least. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I think even when you're working with a soul artist, R&B artist, the beats are still kind of grimy and hard and you know bass heavy and.
Well, I mean, obviously the
Dark.
basis of everything is going to be a part of that. You know what I'm saying? But definitely been doing a lot more. Definitely been doing a lot more sweet sounding stuff the last like few years. A lot of people don't get to hear it, but it's about to, you know, a lot of that's about to change. I've got quite a lot of things coming out later this year that are like that, you know.
I know you got a lot of placements that haven't dropped yet, so I don't know how much we can talk about ahead of time.
Yeah. Well, yeah. There's a couple. There's obviously a few things we can talk about that are in.
Oh yeah, what's that?
In stone, but like none of the. I would say a lot of the bigger moves. I think it's probably better for me to just zip it.
The ink is dry.
Yeah, I get superstitious about this kind of stuff too. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I've had so much stuff fall through over the years.
That's why I'm saying wait until the ink is dry before you talk about anything.
Absolutely.
But so what is the ink dried on that the world doesn't know about yet?
I mean, obviously, I'm gonna continue to work with the Griselda camp. So we got a bunch of stuff in the making. Obviously, Conway's album's coming on Shady still. So there's some work on there. You know, we just did some new joints with Benny. Obviously, Wex is still sitting on one that he hasn't dropped of ours. You know, but other than that, like I've got a couple of ones that I'm really proud of, but I haven't.
Right.
You know, it. Hopefully by the end of the summer, you'll see there'll be like a bunch of stuff. You know, obviously the Children of Zeus album just dropped. That's a group from the UK, kind of like R&B, soul, rap type shit. I've got
they're from the UK, right?
Yeah. I got like four joints on there, so I'm proud of that as well, because it's not many times a lot of people don't realize. I think, you know, behind the scenes they don't. A lot of people that listen to the music don't realize. I think that, you know, you don't have as much control over certain things as people really think. So it's nice to have for me now like projects like the Children of Zeus thing where I'm actually allowed to like fully produce. You know what I mean?
Right.
So and it's kind of like also the Children of Zeus, the production I've got on that is like quite a solid representation of the kind of things that I make every day. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Whereas maybe some of the other stuff isn't. You know what I mean? That's more so collaborative work with other people and that kind of stuff.
Right.
So it's nice to have that outlet there to showcase, like, yeah, look, this is what I'm capable of. This is actually what I'm doing and what I like. And it's cool, man, because the album charted in the UK and it's independent.
Very dope.
So brilliant, man. Really dope. Yeah.
So you check out Children of Zeus, guys. Definitely.
Absolutely.
You know, I've noticed you've had so many drum kits and sample packs over the years. So many people use your sounds to make their own beats. Why do you think it's become so popular for that? And what about your sound stands out, you think? And I have my own opinions, but you know, I want you to break it down.
I think I mean there's different generations of drum kits of mine, but
right.
You know, I would say initially it was just, you know, sounds that I used or whatever. But as time has gone on, I've kind of got a good feel for like curating stuff. Kind of just making kits that I want to hear myself, you know what I mean? Things that are relatively versatile, that have kind of a bit of my stamp of like personality or taste in them, you know what I mean? And I like to also just be, because I think one of the things that stands out of my kits is there's a lot more material in them than you know, your standard drum kit. You know what I mean? I try to cover all bases.
You're playing stuff out. You know,
yeah.
Stuff.
Exactly. I mean, a lot of the stuff is bounced out of beats that haven't come out of mine. You know, a lot of the little music bits are just stuff that I made for beats that I've made, that maybe haven't come out, or, you know, a lot of the drum loops are things that I've programmed for beats that I've made and just thought, okay, cool, this will sound cool, innit? So I actually try and make them good. I don't want to just give people crap, you know what I mean? And I like to cover all the bases so that if you were like a producer that didn't have really many like plugins or like much equipment, you could just literally just make a whole beat using my kit, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that has always been a part of my kind of thought to the approach. And I think as time has gone on, I've just gotten much more of a feel for what people like so I've like adjusted things. And then obviously the last kits, the filth kits, are very much kind of, you know, we've obviously created a bit of a sound with the whole merging of me and Danger on the Shady album. So I kind of wanted to do a kit. I wanted to do a series of kits that basically gave people the textures that I might give, you know, Danger or might do for Zelda, you know what I mean? So, and I think those have done
crazy, right? I know.
Yeah, those have done really, really well, man. I mean, like, this last year has definitely changed my life in a lot of ways. And those kits have a lot to do with that too, you know what I mean? So it's good, man. It's good. And it's cool because it's kind of, you know, bringing back a certain type of hip hop to a kind of mainstream platform. As underground as Griselda still are, you know, they have the looks from the mainstream and stuff, you know what I mean? And they have a very strong fan base. So it's opened a lot of doors in different camps that you wouldn't necessarily think it might open doors with as well. So it's good, man. Yeah. The kits definitely they've done a lot for me.
Right.
It even got to a point where I feel like a lot of people knew me more from kits than anything else. You know what I mean? I don't think people, but I'm trying to change that now. You get me?
Right, right. What about your process is different than your average producer who just might chop up a loop and play some drums over it?
Well, I'm not.
I've watched you make beats in back, in
Yeah.
the past.
Well, I'm very much a sketcher. I don't have much like patience for things, so I'll play like I'll usually like play something, mess around with it, and if I don't like it within about 10 minutes, I'll move on to something else, still save it, and then come, start working on something else, and then come back to the other thing. My brain is naturally very chaotic, so it's yeah. I mean, I'm not. I come from the sample world, but I'm not sample based anymore, really.
Right.
With the exception of maybe some drums sometimes, like a drum break here and there, but yeah, I'm trying to go for the textures of trying to make textures that we what might sample off of a record or whatever, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I think what really excites me is just, because I make a lot of samples for other people to flip and stuff, and I think what really excites me about that is just the freedom of just being able to do whatever I really want to do. I don't have to be fixed to a genre or a BPM or even
Right.
the type of chord or anything. You know what I mean? I can just make whatever I literally feel like making
Mm-hmm.
at that point.
Are you more on the keys or more on a bass or both?
I play everything pretty much. I'm not the greatest. I'm not the greatest musician, but I play. I probably the instrument I'm the best at playing is the bass, and then probably keys. I'm not that great on guitar, but I can get around. But I'm quite like a master manipulator when it comes to audio and stuff. Like I'm quite good at like
Right.
making myself sound decent, and especially now that I've never used to use MIDI years ago, but I've gotten good with MIDI now too. So I can kind of say if I roughly play something or I play something in steps, I can like edit things to change velocities and stuff to make them sound like somebody super ill has like played it. So
Right. And
but I also work with other musicians too. I've been working with this guitarist this last year called Willie Yanes, who's incredible, man. Me and him kind of got a sound together too, which is kind of cool. We're making all sorts of like kind of weird hipster R&B alternative shit, man. But like still with that nice like texture. You know what I'm saying?
Right. How did the Salud record happen with Jay-Z and Beyonce? And congratulations on the Grammy.
Thank you, brother.
I was
Yeah,
very proud.
thanks, man. Yeah,
My
yeah.
baby boy, my baby boy is doing big things.
It's funny, man. It's kind of like a bittersweet thing because it's like because the record is a bonus record and it's a title exclusive. So you
Right.
know what I mean? Like whenever anybody talks about it, you're like, yeah, what record was it? It's not on YouTube or anything. You literally have to have a title to hear it. But yeah, no, it's dope though. Nonetheless, I mean, I'm definitely trying to do some more stuff with both of them. You know what I mean? So
I
I've been
played it in the
sending
club
some
a
stuff.
lot, by the way, and I always shout you out.
Good looks, bro. I appreciate it. Yeah, that happened via Cool and Dre.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it's funny the story of the sample because they flipped a sample of mine basically. They put drums on a sample of mine, and that's how it came to be. But the story of the sample itself, it's funny because when I was waiting, I a lot of people don't know this, but I was waiting for quite a long time the process of me getting my green card took quite a long time.
Right.
There was a moment at the end of 2017 where
Green
I
card.
thought,
You have a funny accent, don't you?
yeah, I'm from the
And you're not
UK.
American?
I'm from the UK, by the way, of the Netherlands, if people didn't realize
Right.
that this is a British accent. Yeah. Yeah, so like I thought I thought I might not be getting my this is like the end of 2017. I thought basically I gave up on it. I had my interview and I hadn't heard anything back. So it's weird. It was like a weird calming feeling that there was no pressure anymore. And I had like a really crazy, like just productive week. And during that week, I made like the Salud sample. I made the sample that ended up being on the Party Next Door album. I made like a ton of shit, bare stuff that I made one of the Children of Zeus, Kint Suggy. I made that during that week. It was nuts. All because I thought
After a week?
all because I thought I wasn't gonna get it. And then I randomly checked my my status and I'd been approved. So it was like
Nice.
Anyway, so I'd sent a pack off to my manager, and my manager obviously sent that out to people on his list, and Cool Dre one of those people. So when I moved in 2018, at the beginning of 2018, Cool from Cool and Dre had hit me up. I want to say this was like March, and he asked me for stems to 2 records, and he was like, "Yo, hold these 2 samples. I just make sure that was it March? No, it might have been later. Anyway, it was sometime at the beginning of 2018.
Right.
He's a big artist has used these. Please hold these. Don't send them to nobody else. And I kind of like did a little. I read between the lines, so I kind of realized that it might be Beyonce and Jay. I wasn't really sure, but I saw that I knew that they were working with them, so I was like, okay, it could be them.
Right.
Anyway, the week before it came out, week before it came out, they were like, yeah, no, this record's gonna be the bonus record, blah blah blah. You know, and it was just crazy, man. It was just a crazy feeling, bro. Really, you know, because up to that point, I think my biggest record had been probably the Jadakiss and Nipsey one.
Yep, Jadakiss, Nipsey, Hustle, rest in peace, and Neo.
Yep.
Ain't nothing new.
Yep.
Right.
It was
a banger. I'm definitely playing that in the mix.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good looks, bro. Yeah, no, I like that's one of the ones I'm pretty proud of too, man.
Yeah,
but yeah, bro, like, so yeah, that's basically how that came together.
Right.
Shout out to Cool and Dre, you know what I mean?
Shout out to Cool and Dre. Let's take it back to the early days of a young Butcher. When did you first fall in love with music? And when did you realize you wanted to become a producer?
I mean, I've always been a music fan, really. My folks were always playing music. My dad's got a really eclectic taste in music. He likes all sorts of shit.
Like Right Said Fred or what?
No, that's more like what my mum's into. No, he's into like classical music, but then he's also into like Bob Dylan and then like Zouk music. I remember he was into Bob Marley. He liked all sorts of kind of like weird international music too, like and then my mum was kind of more on the pop side and the soul side of things, you know what I mean? So she's listening to all sorts of stuff. But yeah, from young, I remember just being really into just, you know, like I remember being in cart journeys with my mom, because my mom used to teach at the same school that I went to when I was younger.
Wow.
So we used to do car journeys in the morning, and I just remember always like listening to the tapes that, you know,
right.
I think a lot of my like, you know, there's a lot of soul stuff, a lot of pop stuff of the time. You know, Luther Vandross, all that type of shit. Michael Jackson.
Stuff we all grew up on. You know, we're around the same age.
I'd say yeah. No, we are. Yeah, we are. Same year, birth year, right?
82.
Yep. But yeah. So I think my first person I was ever obsessed with musically was probably Michael Jackson when I was like really young. You know, you used to think I could dance like him and all that shit, but
me too. When I was like 4 and 5.
Exactly. I remember I used to dance with my nan, jumping off of fucking couches and stuff. She was a good sport back then. And then I don't know. Eventually, I kind of, I was definitely into kind of like the pop music of the 80s and stuff. And then I think, basically through my like, best friend when I was younger, his older brother and his friend basically got into rap music, and his older brother's friend
Was it in the
was
Netherlands or in the UK?
no, this is in the Netherlands. He was half American, and in the summers he used to go to America, and he used to get like whatever was cool at the time, and so like that was my first exposure to a lot of different things, like
Right.
so he used to bring back like tapes or whatever, and yeah, I used to get the hand-me-downs of the tapes from, my friend. My friend was like, "Oh yeah, you gotta listen to this."
Yeah. I'm still picturing as a little kid trying to moonwalk with some freaking clogs on.
I'm not actually Dutch though, bro. So
I know. I'm just joking. Listen, it's still my podcast. I gotta crack a couple of jokes. I don't mean any disrespect.
fucking close, clankety clank. Jesus.
Right.
Yeah, man.
So he was giving you like secondhand tapes and stuff and hand me downs. How
Yeah,
old were
yeah.
you at
It
the
was
time?
all around the same time that like we was also. It was kind of like
Just like early '90s or what?
yeah, it's early '90s. So I was into but it was also around the same time that we were listening to like Guns N' Roses and that kind of shit too. You know
Right.
what I mean? So I
Welcome
get a
to
Public Enemy.
the
Exactly. I loved them, bro. They were the best.
jungle.
Yeah, man. So it was
Crab
like
walk.
stuff like
Oh,
that.
my
Like
wife only does it so good. It's hilarious. It kills me every time.
yeah, this slash hair going in the wind with the fucking what's
Yeah.
that fucking video? What video is that? The video where he's in it's just like a church in the middle of the desert.
Every rose has its thorn. That's the wrong group, isn't it?
That's the wrong group, yeah.
Shit. All the '80s hair metal starts to.
Yeah, nah, but they were special, bro. But yeah, nah. So I was getting
That's
a
too
tape.
top of mine. I can't remember.
Yeah, it might have been. It was like I was getting a tape of Guns N' Roses. Pass me down a tape of Guns N' Roses, and then like a pass me down tape of some like Public Enemy shit or like
Right.
whatever. So that was kind of what started it all. You know what I mean? Um, shit, man. Yeah, and from there, just yeah, man. I suppose I ended up getting into really when I fully just dedicated kind of my taste to that was probably like when I first heard Wu-Tang or Mobb Deep, really. So like
Right.
94, 93, 94. And just, I don't know, man. From then I just became a complete fanatic. I was into it. I was like into like rock and hip hop at the same time before that. But
Were
then,
you rapping or singing or anything like that? Or
yeah, we all tried our little
yeah, I
rapping.
tried. That was terrible.
Yeah, I was terrible too, man. I wrote all sorts of fucking bars, trying to fucking copy other people's flows. Change the words, try and find words that do the same thing.
So when did you start making beats?
So I started DJing first, really. I started collecting records probably like mid '90s. And at that point, I kind of discovered like 12s and stuff, and I always just gravitated towards the instrumentals a lot. And then we would, my friends at the time, I'd put a record on, and we'd all try and do a little freestyle to it or whatever.
Right.
But I don't know. At some point I just got kind of obsessed with trying to DJ. So I started DJing probably around like 98. Like, the same story. One, you save up, you get one fucking 1210 and a shitty mixer, and you use the hi-fi record for the record player for the other one, and then eventually you get another 1210, and then eventually you get the mixer or whatever. And
right.
So, but during that kind of process, I got my first computer. That was probably around the similar sort of time to getting the second turntable. So that probably like the end of like 98. And I got it was like a really shitty computer at the time. Like,
were you doing DJ gigs in the late 90s, early 2000s, or not really?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, like I did a couple at like a youth center.
Yeah, I was doing stuff like that and house parties.
Exactly, house parties. Everyone thought it was really cool that I knew how to scratch and shit. I caught on to scratching pretty quickly, but my mixing was atrocious at first. So
is that why you have so many scratch hooks on your music?
yeah, exactly. That's why every song's got fucking. I'm the illest. Yeah.
Sarcasm
no.
for people that don't realize what's going on. What's up, Pee Wee?
Yeah, so I don't know, man. I ended up getting a shitty computer, and I think it was worth nothing at the time, and it had barely any sort of space on it. So my friend had given me a pirated copy of Cool Edit 96.
Ah, Cool Edit Pro.
Yeah, it wasn't even Pro yet. Pro
Oh.
came 2000, I think.
Ooh.
So I just started recording stuff off of like open drums off of instrumentals, and then like my parents had a really extensive like record collection, so and they actually had some originals to some shit that had been sampled too. So I would record little bits of that and just copy and paste them on top of each other and make beats like that. And then eventually I suppose I got kind of okay at that. And this is the days of
in the Netherlands.
I'd actually moved back to London before, like in sort of 92.
Okay.
So this is now, so then this is now back in I went from the UK back to the Netherlands again in like 99. And then so this is now like when I'm getting decent, this is like around that time, this is around, or when I first starting, this is where I'm back in the Netherlands again. So so and then I ended up like meeting some dudes who were like pretty decent at rapping, my boy Scythe.
Right.
And just started doing some shit locally in the Netherlands. And yeah, man, I don't know, man, that was like, those are really my first songs were probably done with those guys,
Right.
And
got a cameo over here. Shout to Pee Wee in the building.
shout to Pee Wee. Yeah, man. And this is also around the time when I think I first got the internet as well. So
right,
man, this makes me sound antiquated.
I'm trying to remember the earliest stuff I got from you. Hearing your name might have been around 05, 06 maybe.
Yeah.
Hearing some UK stuff. It might have been Triple Darkness stuff.
Yeah, that probably would have been like 07.
Yeah. So that was the earliest stuff I was hearing.
I think I reached out to you in the MySpace days, right?
Yeah.
07 or something like that. Because
Yeah,
Snips
I was
was,
a MySpace king. I had like 40 something thousand friends.
yeah.
I thought
Well,
I was a superstar.
MySpace was definitely one of the things that like opened the doors for me, you know.
Right, right.
Um,
That was the beginning of social media.
yeah. Well, I mean, indirectly, the Sean Price thing kind of happened off the back of MySpace,
Right.
and also the G Unit stuff kind of happened, and Mobb Deep kind of happened off of that too. The
Well, you
aftermath
worked with
of
Havoc, and uh, and I remember Lord Nez. I remember telling Lord Nez, was it the Raekwon show or something else?
Mm-mm. Yeah, it was. It was Raekwon show in
We were at Prospect
UK.
Park.
That was the day after I lost my fucking passport.
Right.
Yeah,
And I remember telling him, "Yo, Nez, go take this brother to my
yeah.
studio
Well,
and bring him over there,
did you
please."
know that Skid from Bad Boy had introduced me to Nez years ago?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that was my first time seeing him since like '08 or something like that. Been
Mm.
like 3 years. So
I went to high school with him. I remember him battling Paul Kane, for Fabulous's crew.
yeah,
This is like
crazy.
early 2000s.
Well, it's crazy because I'm now kind of cool with his brother as well now.
Yeah, yeah.
So my
Talented as well.
my boy Willie Yanes is actually managed by Nez's brother.
Okay.
So that's it's kind of weird
What,
how
what was the group he had before? Or was it a group of production?
Dara.
Right, right.
Yeah. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, shout to Nez, man. Nez, that's my
Definitely.
boy. It's my bro for life as well, bro. Great dude.
Yeah, man. I remember you linking with Grands and Buddha, and I know they had the link, the strong link to Lloyd Banks, right?
Yeah, that wasn't who I got the link to Lloyd Banks through, actually.
Oh no. Okay.
No, I got the link through Germ and Dole.
Oh, that's right. That's right. My bad.
Yeah. So Dole had been messing with Yayo, and I had done that whole tape with Yayo or whatever.
Right, the El Chapo, right?
Yeah, exactly. And
Right.
then Dole basically um, had like started working with Banks more, and he basically like had like had hit me and was like, "Yo,
Right.
we can get you in or whatever." So Germ came to scoop me one time, and we went over there.
Mm.
This was around the time of the Cold Corner too.
Right, right.
So yeah,
And you did the
super correct.
Super Crack, right? I remember I had that on one of my mixtapes.
Yeah, I think that
It's
tape.
crack,
I
it's
think
killing them. Ah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. From Frankenhooker. You ever seen that film?
Oh
That
man.
that sample from Frankenhooker. Yeah.
Wow. No, no, no. I need to. I know. I'm already Rugged Man. Shut him was talking about how crazy that was.
Yeah, it's a stupid film. It's by the same guy that did Basket Case.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, it was like yeah. For those that don't know, it had these little vocal samples at the beginning and at the end uh, that were from that film.
Right.
Like,
Right.
and I think that might have been one of my first like fully non-sample beats that I did with like an American artist.
Mm.
No, actually, no, the Yayo shit. No, I did the Yayo shit too.
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, you were working with everybody at that time. I remember you did some stuff with like Mac Miller and Danny Brown, and Currency,
Yeah,
Jet Life.
yeah, yeah. The Currency, the Danny Brown thing was through Tony Yayo and Doe.
Right.
Um, and the Mac Miller thing was through DJ Woogie.
Okay.
Um, yeah, man. Yeah. So yeah. So anyway, like when I first started working, I kind of didn't. I like I always been listen. I always had been listening to like American stuff, and but at the time it seemed like it wasn't really plausible to try and do stuff in the States.
Mm.
So I kind of focused on UK hip hop and stuff, and I kind of made my name a little bit in that, working with, like you said before, the Triple Darkness and Jest
Yes, right.
and Kalashnikov and
Right, I had some Kalashnikov stuff that you produced as well.
exactly. So and then I got a bit disillusioned with all of that stuff, and that's when you got to know me. Basically, it's like around that time. So I started focusing because this is around the time of like MySpace. Started realizing that it wasn't that it was actually I could actually probably work with guys in the States.
Yeah.
And at the time I was really mostly just listening to like, whatever the street mixtapes were at the time. I don't know, Max B and that kind of stuff.
Right.
So
Yeah. I
and
remember being in the studio with you with Jim Jones, and he was, I think he was laid out on the table, like asleep,
yep,
and he
yep.
walked, yo, oh my bad, I apologize.
Yeah, every time he wanted one, he liked one. He was like he'd like raise
Right.
his head and so put that one in the folder and then put his head down again.
And I remember he had that Vampire Life
Yeah,
brand at the
yeah,
time, and
yeah,
you had sampled the Lost Boys.
yeah,
And you made a crazy beat. I was like, yo, that is perfect for the brand. What do you? And he didn't pick it, and I was like, what the hell?
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, at the time, I was kind of moving away from sampling and stuff.
But that joint
So
was perfect for what he was doing with the Lost Boys sample and
yeah, yeah. Well, Travis, my boy DJ Travesty, shout out to him. He um he was one of Jim Jones's boys, and he basically told me about that stuff and was like, "Yo, you should sample this. You should sample that shit. Make a beat out of it. I'm 100% sure we can get it on there." And then I made a flip of it. I was all like, I'm in an iron about it. I made a flip of it, and it didn't end up being on there in the end. But
that's all right.
I was at your crib actually. I think when I was making it, right?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, yeah, bro. Crazy times. Yeah, because I used to do them trips out there like maybe 2-3 times a year
Right.
from like '08.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah, we used to
remember,
be around each other all the time.
being in the studio with you and Sean Price. Rest in
Yep,
peace. Good
yep.
times.
That was the first time I met Sean, I think.
Yeah, yeah. I think I went with you, no? I think
Yep.
Ella was there.
Illa G, yeah.
Right, shout out
Yeah.
to Ella.
Yeah, and Illa was making fun of my handwriting.
He always got jokes. Shout out to Ella. He's
Yeah, bro.
hilarious.
Yeah, he sucks.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. So
So when did Shetland ponies invent clogs?
uh 1876. I don't know.
I played that song you did as like a random joke song,
Yeah.
for Oni, and it's actually kind of dope. Like,
It's it's ridiculous.
it's ridiculous, but it it could have been made non-ridiculous, and it could have been something.
Yeah, I don't know about that, bro.
Nah.
Nah, that whole project was just me and Dave getting drunk and acting a fool. Because I feel like, it's yeah. I just actually deleted the Facebook. There was a Facebook for it. Can't have the world finding out about
Okay, so
that.
I won't play that in the mix. Okay, gotcha.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man.
So how did the Griselda thing happen? I was that through Derringer? Did he reach out or?
Yeah. So when they signed to Shady, obviously they Shady basically the premise was that they weren't really allowed, or they wouldn't be allowed to use samples for the Shady album. So
He want
and
to pay temple
obviously
clearance, in other words.
yeah, and obviously Derringer being heavily like sample uh based
Right.
was trying to find somebody that would kind of fit the feel of what he was doing, and he was using my kits already, and I
Mm.
guess we had um we had multiple people that connected that were kind of connecting points to us, but
right.
Via. I mean, I don't remember exactly how it happened, but I know that there was talk because my manager Mike was the guy that signed them to Shady.
That's Mike Karen
And
at Rockets, correct?
absolutely, yep,
He got a
that's the
lot of
one. The
history in the
guy,
game. Yeah.
yep, the guy that exec produced the bigger picture for Big L, the
I
Big L.
believe he managed Joel Ortiz at some point, didn't
Yep,
he? Yeah.
yep,
I remember that.
and Screwball back in the day too. But he also managed. He manages a group of us that make samples and stuff.
Right.
G Coop, um, myself. I'm trying to think who else he's got at the moment. He's got a few people anyway. But I had just literally just signed my management contract with him, and I guess he kind of was suggesting that one of the one of his guys would be the person to do that, and I think he was trying to push Leon Michaels from L. Michaels Affair. But somehow, like, me and Derringer had started talking, and we ended up getting on pretty well. And obviously, I knew Alchemist as well.
I met him a few times over the years.
Yeah, Derringer's my bro, man. That's my dog, bro. For life. But yeah, so I guess. So yeah, I guess it started to send him some stuff, and then Conway had used a few of the beats that he
Right.
made with the stuff, and then I don't know, it's kind of weird. I moved over here, and we continued to work on the Conway stuff, and just the idea to do like a Griselda album for Shady, because I think originally they were just trying to do solo albums. They had like a 3-album contract. They were just going to do solo albums. There was an idea to do this group project, and yeah, so we basically we banged the whole thing out in a week, basically. But yeah, that's basically how it came together. And then
Oh,
from
golden child, stop. Yeah, man. And it came out great. I know. What do you say to people who, the critics, the hardcore Griselda fans, like, oh, you've changed the sound of Griselda. I think you've made it more musical and.
I don't know about more musical, but you know, I think people need to just like dudes need to chill, man. In the day, you know, I also don't have a huge amount of control over what ends up getting used and stuff like that too. So
Right.
if you're seeing my name solo,
A lot of times it's
you know,
Derringer taking stuff and just chopping it up.
yeah, it's definitely that's the sound of us together. You know what I'm saying? That's not necessarily me dominating over
Right.
like that. You know what I'm saying? That's Darren just chopping something that I've done, and a lot of the time that's how we're doing beats. Like some of the beats, you know, might be a different process, and some beats, but a lot of beats will be like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Right.
um, you know, whatever. I mean, I think the only criticism that I see that does annoy me sometimes is that it's like, yeah, all the Beat Butcher beats sound the same, but
Yeah.
the problem is if you look at my discography, I got a ton of shit that doesn't sound like that.
Right.
So, you know.
Sometimes it's, that could be Derringer picking out certain things that have a similar vibe that
No, I think a lot of I mean, it just
Yeah.
I think we're going for a sound to a degree. You know what I mean? I think
Right.
like Wes is curating a lot of the stuff. You know what I'm saying? So whatever you're hearing, that's the stuff that he's picked. at the end of the day. So
He's a hell of a curator. Shout out to him. He
exactly.
he built the movement.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
remember him
yeah,
early on when they were handing out CDs at A3C. You know.
yeah, yeah. No, I remember them early on too, man. In fact, my first trip that I ever did to LA in 2014,
Mm,
um, was the first time I ever heard about them. I think it was the Hermes Tape 2, the second one.
right. Yeah, that was around the time I
Um,
linked up with them as well through Planet Asia.
right, and I got to know about them via Planet Asia. So I don't know Planet Asia, but Planet Asia had told my boy Twiz about them. So
Twist the
Twiz
Beat
was
Bro.
upset with them.
Right.
Yep, yep. So Twiz had
Right.
showed me the stuff. So it's been dope. It's been amazing to see the progression, and it's also just dope to be a part of the progression too. You know, because
Right.
we've changed we've changed a lot of no we've managed to be a big influence on. I feel like the stuff that's coming. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Even my contribution to it. You know what I mean? As much as some people might hate on it, there are a lot of people that love it too.
Listen, man, it's opened the doors for a lot of MCs to come up out of the streets, the underground, whatever you want to call it, and made a lane for a lot of people.
For sure, for sure. No, it's dope. It's dope that like a more traditional, like pure form of hip hop can be can have the kind of platform that it does right now. You know.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of artists I think who make really great music were kind of slept on for a number of years. I think it was a hard transition from the '90s to the 2000s. People were still kind of so attached to these '90s artists and not
Yeah.
fully appreciating the new artists who were coming in. And I think some of them got kind of swept under the rug a little bit. And you
Yeah,
see
and I
some of
think
them now like getting appreciated in ways they weren't before, like Ransom,
well,
and
I also think that some things just become very cliche.
yeah,
Uh, when certain things become certain things are presented the same way constantly, it becomes kind of like boring and tiring. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
mm,
I think the presentation that let's say like Rock or Griselda have had is it's a new context to something that we're familiar with, but
right,
a new spin on it. You know what I'm saying? It's not.
definitely, definitely,
It's like the evolution of the stuff that we grew up listening to. You know what I mean?
right. I
Which
gotta
is
also give you credit. You were the first person to put me on to Ito.
yeah, bro. Yeah,
Back
yeah,
when he was little Ito.
yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. Shout out to Ito, bro. He's killing too.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Yeah, and it's been dope to see cats like Ito get a Muggs album and
Yeah.
whatever, because he's been killing. He's been making amazing tunes for a long time since I first got put onto him. Also in the MySpace days, like '07. I think
Right.
that was the first tape I was ever on.
I think around
Of
'08, I
his.
remember you putting me on then.
Yeah, yeah. I met Vidon through him as well. That's how me and Vidon end up getting real cool and
Right, and I think I
being
met
friends.
you down through you.
Yeah, yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right.
Shout out to Vidon too. He's
Yeah,
one of the
definitely.
illest. He's a criminally slept on producer to me, man. I always feel like he could be way bigger. You know,
Mm-hmm.
he's a beast.
Yeah, I mean, production is it's not always the talent. Sometimes it's the who you know, who or who's managing you, or
I'm gonna be honest. It's not. It's this music shit. In terms of like what's popping, it's not. It's really not about the music most of the time.
a lot of politics.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
Yeah, I know. You
And
got
who's
people
working
who
behind the scenes?
I've seen producers who can barely make beats just dick ride the right people and just get put in position
Yeah, yeah. It's definitely something to be said for people also that have good personalities, but maybe their music isn't the illest, but they know how to like, they're good movers and shakers. So
right.
you know what I mean, they get in the right places. I can think of a bunch of those kind of people too. You know what I mean?
Gotta shake the hands and kiss the babies. I think a lot of the best producers.
Oh, Elements General.
Yeah. Oh, right.
You gotta do your mixtape voice, bro.
Let me do just talk like that the rest of the interview.
Yeah.
What up? It's DJ J-Ronin, the All Elements General, and we got the Beat Butcher podcast episode right now. You're in the middle of it. Woo!
Hey, exactly.
All Elements Mix Show. Let's go. Yeah. You know what? I got paid a lot of money to do those kind of drops for 1,000,001 random street rappers that we now never heard of. Well, some of them popped off. You know, some of them had careers.
Yeah, no, but you've done a lot of notable things too, you know. So
I did a few things. Getting by. This podcast is doing pretty good.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, don't underplay yourself, man.
I'm not. I'm just being humble.
You're a legend.
I'm all like,
legend. Yeah, bro.
Nah, this is for me. It's fun. I get to talk to, COVID came and everyone was in the house. I wasn't going out like that, and this is an excuse for me to link back with everybody who I respect as a real artist, and get to put them onto a platform that's growing for me, and promote them and give them their credit and their dues and their flowers. You know, like Nori always says.
Of course. I think it's important, man. If you really fuck with something, or you fuck with something that somebody does, I think more than ever, it's important for you to show love and you know what I'm saying? I think we're in a weird transitional time as well, I think, for music. So I think it's kind of cool. I think a lot of the attitude towards, a lot of the people are actually excited about making music again. I think.
Yeah.
It feels like, just being behind the scenes and just watching, just being in with certain people, and you're like, I'm noticing that people are really just focused on making some cool shit.
I want to see you working with Anderson .Paak and Bruno Mars. I think that would be.
Yeah. I mean,
and maybe Janae Aiko. That'd be dope too. I'm a fan of her work.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe we'll see the Anderson thing. That's a possibility.
You didn't tell anything. I'm just guessing. I'm just throwing shit out there for the record.
No. That's definitely a possibility. That
I can see working with Miguel as well. I think it would be nice. Yeah, I listen to a lot of stuff beyond just people think I'm just playing Wu-Tang every day, all day. Yeah,
you don't.
I'm just like this all day.
You don't. Yeah,
I love it.
I thought you listening to Killer Army all day. I thought you were listening to Killer Army's first album all day.
Nah, a lot of.
I went down the rabbit hole the other day, bro. Yo, Killer Sin was incredible.
He just, had a lot of bad luck. He kept getting locked up. He's locked up right now, unfortunately. So talented.
Crazy.
Part of me just wanted to come to the studio, stay in Brooklyn, stay away from Staten Island.
Yeah,
I tried talking to him once. So.
He had all the standout verses on those features where you can tell that you can tell it like they asked for Wu-Tang members, and Deck brought the homie along or some shit like that, and he just
outshines a lot of people too.
He outshines he really outshined motherfuckers on certain joints, man.
Yeah, man.
I love his verse on that the Onyx shit, man.
The worst. Yeah.
He was crazy on that one.
I like him on that Funk Flex tape.
Oh yeah, crazy. Yeah, with the Mobb Deep, with the
Mm-hmm.
Mobb Deep beat. Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
crazy.
man. There's one thing I always wanted to see from you. I was just thinking about it. I want to see you and Mr. Probs do that album.
Yeah, I don't. Truthfully, I'm not sure what Probs is my boy, man. But truthfully, I'm not sure what Probs is on at the moment, man. It's been
So talented, you know. I
incredible,
go
man.
back and listen to his music, fairly often.
Yeah, yeah, he's incredible, man. He's incredible. I think he might have gotten a little bit disillusioned with the music industry, man. Um,
You guys
but
just
yeah,
gotta do dope stuff and put it out, and it'll do well.
yeah, and we've got demos that are sitting there from the days that we did, Hate You and all those kind of songs too, that are still they're
I'm
still
putting it
going.
out there. I want to see you guys get up with each other for a couple weeks and make a project. I guarantee you it'll do well. You both have great names.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I tried reaching out to Probs not too long ago. Shout out to Probs though, bro. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, that's my boy. That's my bro, man.
The music industry is tough, man. It's a lot of ups and downs. Um, People love you in 1 minute, next minute, they act like they don't know you.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I know he had a few issues with Sony. He definitely made his millions though. I'll tell you that.
That Waves record was huge.
He's good. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
He had a couple other records after that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. No, I'm super proud of him, man. He's a good dude, man.
Yeah. I see you're. Are you working anymore with the Lloyd Banks? I know you got a new project out right now.
Not currently. No, I'm still cool with Jay who records him, and Germ who's working with him, and I'm still cool with Doe and stuff. But yeah, we haven't worked on any new stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of really I'm just trying to focus on just I've really just been trying to focus on kind of like more musical kind of stuff.
Mm,
So I haven't really been doing a huge amount. I mean, I know people think because there's been so much Griselda stuff come out, that I'm really kind of heavily on the hip hop vibes. Um, but like I've been doing a lot of kind of um more like I'd say like
soul, funk.
alternative R&B kind of
Okay.
vibes. Um,
I play a lot of that in the crib more than anything else. A lot of times.
yeah, yeah. Well, I've got a few things that I'm sitting on that are like that. Um, and also kind of I don't know. Um, I don't know how to put it, but
Right.
the sound that I've been working on is not um like unless I'm really doing stuff with Griselda, like I'm like barely really doing any sort of grimy shit like that. So um
Yeah, I love
but
this.
I'm not ruling out working with Banks at some point again. You know,
Mhm.
he's an amazing artist. And
Right.
I just I also want to be I just want to be able to give him records that I like too, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm excited about because right now, like something like Banks or something like that would be kind of like a passion project. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I kind of like want it to be top of the line type shit. You know what I mean?
Speaking of passion products, whatever happened to that project you had with all those artists that did verses for you? Get
Uh,
a
I I mean, I didn't really get that far with it. In all
huh?
honesty, no, I never got that far with it. I started. There was two times where I started working on albums. There was
Right.
one time in the days of Low Life Records with Rain Text and stuff. I was talking to him about doing a producer album,
Mm.
and I started kind of trying to put some shit together. But
So I remember didn't you have some currency and Prodigy stuff? I could have sworn.
yeah, I had a Prodigy record that I was trying to get him to use, and I had a Dave East one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I think the Prodigy record, I think that might be on the album that's about to come out. Not about to come out. That they're working on.
Okay.
Because I think Joe was saying that he really liked that record. So we'll see what happens with all that stuff, man. It's frustrating. I really want to be able to tell you some of the stuff that I'm sitting on.
Right, that's okay.
Because
off camera.
every time I start talking like that, everybody assumes that it's like along the lines of
big things, blood, big things.
That's everyone assumes it's along the same lines as the other shit. You know what I'm saying? The stuff I'm kind of known for, but actually, you know, it's like left and then up. You know what I'm saying? So
I mean, you told me a lot of stuff before that hasn't dropped yet. So I got a few names in my head, but I'm gonna keep it to myself. You know, I know the business.
Yeah, I mean, I had one fall through already this year that was kind of heartbreaking because I was really looking forward to that coming out. Me and Darren had something that was supposedly going to be on this big album, big first album. So, but that could still come out at the end of the year because he's about to drop another one. So,
okay. So, yeah, don't jinx it. We'll see. Hopefully, it comes out.
Yeah, absolutely, bro.
What do you want next for your career as a producer, sound designer, a musician, an artiste?
I mean, in all honesty, I mean, the basic answer is I just want to be kind of I just want to be doing my own my style and be successful with doing my style, and I'm doing that at the moment. But I want to get on some big records, I want to be on on whatever the big records are that come out. I want to have at least a record or two on those.
Right.
I want some singles. I want I'm very career motivated at the moment, man. So the immediate thing is to level up and but I'm starting to kind of like work on a lot more like passion projects that are things that I want to try and nurture and turn get bigger. You know what I mean? Like for instance, this Children of Zeus thing that we're gonna probably work on like a little EP together, but I want to try and take some artists under my wing and help make us carve a sound out and make them pop. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm not necessarily talking like on some hip hop shit. Really, like I'm more so talking on some singing stuff. Whatever genre. I'm
soul, trap soul.
Just genre bending. I'm not really.
Right.
I'm not really stuck to. I am stuck to a palette that I gravitate towards, but I'm really just trying to like make some stuff that's the next thing. You know what I mean? Not necessarily.
Do you see yourself putting out a lot of stuff yourself independently, like limited vinyl and merchandise?
Yeah. I'm gonna do. Me and Children of Zeus are probably gonna do like at the very least we're gonna do like a joint EP together.
Okay.
So and if we when we do that, we'll probably put that out independently.
Right.
But it's early talks about that because whenever we started working on stuff, it's always ended up going on one of their albums. So now that we've got a little time between projects and they're being able to do like live shows all the time, it might be a bit of time for us to just record some new shit.
Right.
But yeah, I'm definitely trying to put some music of my own out. Or also I have like an alias that I'm kind of working on at the moment, which is early doors too. So
all drill beats.
No, I like drill though.
Yeah.
I like drill music. But
you like production more so than the actual artist, or?
I like the British version of it. I like the way rap wise and beats wise. I obviously there's select ones in New York and stuff I fuck with, but
right.
I think I find the UK version isn't quite as like sticking to one formula. Like they change things up quite a lot,
Mm-hmm.
like drum patterns
I
and.
mean, that's where it started, right? The whole drill sound.
I mean, Chicago, right? But like this version of it is UK, obviously,
Right.
you know. But yeah, bro, I don't know, man. Like yes, the yeah, that the alias is also too early for me to chat about.
Yeah, that's all right. As long as you're
You
having
know,
fun with it, man.
huh?
As long as you're
Yeah,
having
yeah.
fun.
That's my main thing, bro. Is that I came to the conclusion of a while back that you know that's basically what I'm, you know, just trying to be creatively free and then, you know, make whatever I feel and then figure out a home for it after I've made it. You know what I mean? And thankfully that's kind of where I'm at right now with it. I'm able to, I have enough outlets. If I feel like I want to make some, you know, if I feel like I want to make some grimy shit, I'll send that to Griselda or Derringer or something. If I feel like I want to make some kind of jazzy stuff, I'll work with Carter Lang, and you know, maybe who knows, maybe we'll send it to Scissor or you know,
Mm-hmm.
fucking whatever.
Right.
If I'm doing some stuff that I can hear Q on, I can send some shit to Q, that kind of shit. So you know, I'm just trying to cover the bases and just I've got the just you know experimenting and I've managed to I've bought a bunch of gear the last year as well. Like I've kind of got the itch for copying old gear. So I'm just
What kind of
constantly
classic old gear do you have? Like Moog
uh
and stuff, or what?
yeah, I have a Voyager, I have a Vox Continental Baroque, which is quite a rare version of the Continental, which has two tiers. I've got um Mellotron, I've got a Roadster.
You got the
I,
vocoder though.
I
Mm.
have I did I used to have a mic. I actually have a microcord which has a vocoder on it.
Right.
um Prophet Rev 2, bunch of shit, Rhodes, fucking Space Echo, bunch of different pedals, guitars, basses.
Right. Right.
I got a new place now, so I got a bit more space than I used to have.
There you
So
go.
it's kind of filling up pretty quick.
Right.
So, but yeah, you know, just I'm constantly trying to, you know, like get different textures and stuff that I might not be able to get in using, you know, plugins or
Right.
computer stuff. When I first moved out here, I you know, I basically before I moved out here, I got rid of all my stuff in the UK. I got rid of all my like
Wow.
I had like synths and I had like, you know, upright. I had an upright piano. Had a bunch of stuff. Geno 60, bunch of shit. Anyway, but I got rid of it all. And so because when I moved here, I wasn't sure how long it would take me to get like a place of my own because of my credit history and all that kind of stuff. You know, I didn't have a credit history yet, so
Yeah.
I was just working completely inside the box. I was literally just using a computer for a good for the first like year of being over here. So um it was just nice
Back to
at
cool
some
edit. Nah.
no. I've been on Ableton for like 10 years almost. No.
Okay. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
since 2012. So
So,
yeah, bro. So just just experimenting, bro.
what kind? I know this is kind of cheesy. People always ask this, probably. What kind of advice would you give upcoming producers as far as developing a sound and getting placements?
I mean, I see the music and the business as two fully separate things.
Yeah, well, they are in a way. Yeah.
Career advice, I would say, don't don't do anything other than music to make money at first, so that you don't do any desperate moves and you don't like do things that you regret.
Beat sales.
Yeah, it's selling. Yeah, beat sales, selling yourself short, selling beats to
Right.
people you don't want to sell beats to. That all sounds like it's not that bad, but like you know,
Comes back to kick you in the ass later, huh?
yeah, sometimes you know what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
especially if you really relied on certain, if you were selling beats all the time to, you know what I mean, and then they decide to want to put the things out like years later, not when you normally.
I got one joint. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, it's all good. People fucking, people paid for the beat. So, but
Right.
but yeah, my main advice would be that to up and coming producers. Placement wise, I would just say, don't even put so much emphasis on placements. I would just say like make music for fun from a fun place. Try and get good at it. Work with whoever you have at your disposal and just build your name slowly, because if you let it happen naturally, you're gonna gravitate towards things that you're much more interested in anyway.
Right. Right.
And then on the creative sides, yeah, I don't know, man. Just have fun, bro. Just remember, it's not about what you use. It's about like it's about the outcome. It's not about like how you make it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If a
I know
good
people
beat
that
is a good beat.
I've seen people that have all the gear in the whole world, and their beats suck. And I've seen people make some dope shit on Fruity Loops.
I mean, the gear should just be something to inspire you. If there's a good gear isn't gonna make you good beats. Like you have to actually put your hours in and work on the craft. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
I think the only way to really do this, because I see one thing that kind of like um I think is kind of whack is that a lot of the like producer based websites and like blogs and stuff are all based around, how do you get placements, how do you make money, how do you there's doesn't seem to be that there's like a huge amount of geek out anymore about like the actual process of making music. Like
Right.
i
I find more.
personally I personally get very like I personally love to hear like hearing, for instance, like hearing like Entume talk about fucking creating records for people or whatever. It doesn't have to be necessarily just hip hop shit. I just like hearing, just getting a peek inside somebody's mentality of like how they made something and how they like put it together and what they were thinking when they were doing it and that kind of stuff. I feel
Right.
like too many people these days like really out the gate want to make money off of this shit. This isn't. I'm gonna say it now. This isn't a job for you to make quick money and then dip. You're never gonna be able to do that unless you love this shit. You're not gonna make no fucking money.
You gotta have
You
that
have to
passion.
really love this. You have to have the passion and want to put the time in, because this the way that this works is you put the work in first and you don't get rewarded until years and years and years down the line. I'm only really just starting to see real success now, and
Right.
I've been in this for a long time. Like granted, I haven't been full time in this for that long, but it's taken me a good 10 years of grinding to get to this point. I've been doing this for 20 years, but
Right.
10 years of actual grinding, you know. So I think my advice would just be like have fun. My
Right.
bet mainly just have fun and just do what you like, make what you like. Don't worry about like, can I make money off of this shit? Like, because if you make it at a good enough level, you'll find an angle for it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you look at the way that independent hip hop is going right now. You know, you mentioned cats like Ito, or we mentioned Vidon. These are all guys that are, making underground music, but they're making money off of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
They're putting in projects and merchandise and doing well.
exactly, Rock, Griselda. You know what I'm saying? They've Griselda made millions.
Hmm.
Clever business moves, clever angles. So, I just think, the music has to come first. You have to be good at what you do. And
Right.
then don't worry about, you know, the rest of it. Figure it out.
Hmm.
I know that doesn't help.
No, I think that does help. They have to love it. You have to have the passion. It's not a
Yeah, yeah.
get money quick scheme.
It isn't. It
Want
isn't.
the music industry is not for you.
No, exactly. Yeah, and it's a disart. It can be hugely disheartening, especially if that's your mentality, and you're trying to do that. Like you're gonna find yourself broken real quick. You know what I'm saying? Your whole,
Okay. We don't need
you
those
know.
people around. People that have the passion for it. I want those kind of people
Yeah,
around.
absolutely, and you can hear it in the music too when people actually care about what they do.
Yeah,
You
man.
know, like some people catch a lucky break and might be a one-hit wonder, but when people really care about what they do, you can hear it.
Right.
You know.
How do you feel about beat battles and beat showcases? I know you're more about making music than the battles, but I always thought
I
that was
mean,
fun. I like to do more of those as COVID, you know, dies
I,
down.
I've I've got nothing against them. I think it's a good way for you to get your name out and stuff. I gotta admit, I gotta say, I do find beat battles a little bit dull.
Uh-oh. Don't book him for the beat battle. No, I'm just kidding. He's a judge. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know. I'm also not the kind of person that just listens to beats, or I'm never listening to just a beat. You know what I'm saying? Like
right.
I like hearing songs and
Right.
but I do think it's a good way for people that are up and coming to get their name out. I did one beat battle in the One Stop Shop in Phoenix, Arizona,
Oh, I remember that.
which was, you know, it was kind of soul destroying in a way, because like I didn't make it past the first round, but every beat, in retrospect, every beat I played ended up on a project. So
Here you go.
one of them ended up the first one ended up being a Sean Price record. Let me tell you.
Right. Dum 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 dum.
Yeah, one of them ended up being Lloyd Banks and Jada Kiss. And then one of them I think was a Ito.
Right.
So
Making great production for music is sometimes different than making something for a beat battle crowd. You know, they can sample something that's really fucking obvious and have some
yeah,
hard drums. And people be like, oh,
yeah, certainly. I mean, like there's a difference. There's a beat battle beat as well, isn't there? There's like a
yeah,
type of beat, with all the transitions and all the fucking,
lots of trans.
and you got to do your fucking hand like this. I don't know if dudes still do that. I mean, I don't. Truth be told, I don't see that many beat battles happening these days. I
Right.
think the last one I went to was the ones that you guys were doing.
Yeah, me and Kaz, Masters of the Machines.
Yep.
I want to bring it back. I'm trying to convince him. I think it's fun. Maybe not as a battle, but maybe just a showcase. Just showing love to producers.
Yeah. Yeah. But then, is there enough people that really want to listen to, like? Uh, I feel like you kind of, it's difficult. Difficult. It's a good. I feel like the battle aspect is the aspect that gets people to listen to unknown producers.
Right. Yeah.
If it was a showcase, you what names have you got that to
Well,
bring
then you
people?
get bigger names. You know, like how Beat Society was doing.
Right, yeah. No, well, yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, Slop is doing this this Zoom thing.
Right.
Is it Zoom? Whatever, where everybody's like, basically it's like a beat cipher thing. He does it like once a month or like once every 2 weeks or something.
Right, right.
But it's basically the same kind of thing, same idea.
Right. Yeah, I'm trying to bring it back, man. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. I mean, if you fuck with it, man, do it, bro.
I mostly enjoyed booking older grumpy artists to judge and talk shit about the producers. I was hilarious.
Yeah.
Like seeing the beat nuts, like, fuck out of here. Jay Dilla cut that shit up the same way, man. You biting. Shit like that.
Oh man. Wonder what Juju has to say about all of that lo-fi shit then. Basically the whole genre is just biting a certain chamber of like Dilla shit.
Yeah.
Shit is crazy.
Yeah. It's nuts. Oh man. And there are people who like that better than hip hop. Like better than hip hop.
Yeah, but I always think, you know what I think that is as well though, bro? I think that's that recontextualization thing, is that people, you put a new jacket on it and suddenly like suddenly it's something new, but it's not. You know what I mean? Like people maybe are scared to say they listen to hip hop beats or, you know, instrumental hip hop or something.
Lo-fi.
You know what I mean? Oh, yeah. Oh, lo-fi. Yeah, it's much cooler.
I'm gonna call the music I put out now. Oh, it's not lo-fi. It's Soulfly. We're just Soulfly. Yeah.
Yeah. Neo postmodern argospenic loungecore, romantic death step.
Oh my god. Romantic death step.
Violins and like gabba music.
Yeah, man. Yo, anything else you trying to plug before we get out of here? I don't want to hold you up too long. I know you got people coming over.
Yeah, just check out Phil 3, my new kit. Check the Children of Zeus album Balance, and yeah, man, you'll be hearing a whole heap more of me this year.
Very good.
Whether you like it or not, you fucking bitches.
Good shit, y'all. Everybody, make sure you follow Beat Butcha all his social media. He got the kits. Check them out. Support all you people that need those sounds, and you don't want to sample typical stuff and get sued down the line. Support. All right, bro. Appreciate you, man. Once again, it's DJ J-Ronin, the J-Ronin podcast, and the All Elements Mix Show on Delicious Vinyl Radio on the Dash Radio app, powered by Black League Entertainment. Appreciate y'all. Yeah, J-Ronin voice. Yeah, that's for you.
All Elements General.
All Elements General. Oh man.
Yes, sir.